I was a vegetable, confined to my hospital bed day after day. Kevin shamelessly brought his pregnant mistress into our home. Not only that, but his entire family targeted Emma too. Until my dying breath, I could still hear Emma's desperate screams for help. When I opened my eyes again, I found myself back on the morning of my accident. By chance, I overheard Kevin and Emily plotting my car accident, all to claim the massive life insurance payout and my parents' inheritance. This time, I'll make them taste 1,000-fold the suffering they caused us. Mommy. Preschool time. Get up. Get up. Emma's voice pulled me from sleep. Her innocent face peered at me from the bedside. Preschool? Hadn't she already started elementary school? My hands trembled as I asked. Sweetheart. How old are you? Her lower lip quivered. Mommy forgot? Emmy's 4 now. Not 3 anymore. Only ice cream can fix this. Fumbling for my phone, I realized it was indeed the date of my accident. Tears blurred my vision as I hugged my perfectly healthy daughter. I'd been reborn. Mommy, hurry. I want my gold star. Emma dragged me to her preschool. The whole walk home felt surreal. As I reached our doorstep, hushed voices stopped me cold. Kevin, are you sure about the driver? What if he talks? Emily's whisper carried through the door. Relax. Mom. Mr. Zhang's spineless. He'll keep quiet. This better work. The insurance and inheritance will set us up for life. Stop worrying. It's foolproof. My blood turned to ice. Even my accident had been staged. Biting my lip until I tasted copper. I practiced a fake smile in my phone camera before entering. Emily jumped like a guilty raccoon. Oh. You're back early from dropping Emmy off. Shouldn't you head to work? Work. Where I'd get accidentally hit by a truck. How convenient. Principal gave me the day off. I chirped. Emily's teacup clattered. What? Since when? I blinked innocently. Is there a problem? And no. Just unexpected. Her forced smile cracked like old porcelain. As I retreated to our bedroom, their panicked whispers chased me. They wanted me dead for money? Fine. Let them choke on their greed. Their acting skills were mediocre at best, riddled with obvious flaws. Yet in my previous life, I'd been too trusting to notice. Now that I've been given this second chance, knowing the truth, I won't let the Smith family get away unscathed. Divorcing Kevin immediately wouldn't punish them properly, it might even let them walk away with half our assets. I methodically sorted through my thoughts. Kevin and I had maintained separate bedrooms since our daughter's birth. By this timeline, he'd already begun his affair. The mental image of them spending my money on their happy little family made my blood boil. Emerging from my room, I found Mrs. Smith lurking outside my door. I pretended not to notice and shoved the door open forcefully. The solid wood connected with her face, drawing a shrill scream. Oh my goodness. I feigned shock. Why were you standing there? Mom? You did that on purpose. She spat, clutching her nose before remembering her carefully cultivated image. Lily dear. She forced sweetness through gritted teeth. Grown women shouldn't be so careless. I nodded demurely. Her perpetual martyr act prevented further confrontation, for now. When Kevin returned that evening, his thunderous expression betrayed their conspiracy. Look what you did to Mother. He barked, pointing at her bandaged forehead. While you lounge around the house, she works herself to the bone. The textbook misogynist routine. Previously, I'd have fought fire with fire. Now, tears welled up on command. You're right, Kevin. I've been terribly careless. My submissive act disarmed him completely. Mrs. Smith quickly interjected. Now. This old bones can take a knock or two. Her martyr's sigh hung heavy. Though if Lily insists on making amends, buy Mother some health supplements, Kevin ordered. Recovering his stern demeanor, I bit back laughter. The woman who mocked organic markets suddenly needed tonics? More likely, they'd liquidate them to pay Emily's gambling debts, information I'd tragically learned too late last time. As I prepared dinner, Their hissed kitchen conversation carried clearly. Just divorce her already, Mrs. Smith urged. Emily's creditors won't wait. Patience. Kevin snapped. If she dies, we keep everything. Divorce means splitting assets. Then hurry it up. Their words pierced like daggers. These people I'd called family were literally plotting my murder. Memories flooded back, Emily abusing my daughter while they feigned ignorance. Their perfect family dinners as my world burned. Not this time. The game had new rules. I would never let them off so easily. My daughter, Emma, had always been terrified of my mother-in-law and Kevin, only showing slight warmth toward me. I used to be puzzled by this, even scolding her for it. But now I knew better. I refused to force her anymore. Keeping her at my friend's place felt safer. I made up an excuse about summer camp requirements and sent her away. My mother-in-law was thrilled. She'd never liked Emma anyway, claiming she brought bad luck. Kevin didn't even bother asking where his daughter went. After sending Emma off, I finally relaxed. Checking my phone, I saw the vegetable vendors group chat buzzing about discount promotions. My mother-in-law lived for sales, any bargain, big or small, demanded her immediate inspection. I knew she'd head straight to Ethan's stall. That ex-military vendor sold produce at rock-bottom prices, not needing the money but despising petty thieves. I messaged Ethan casually, slipping in warnings about my mother-in-law's sticky fingers. Sure enough, she left at dawn for the market. Hours later, the police called. She'd brawled with Ethan. Of course. She'd been pilfering veggies for years, counting on vendors to ignore it. But Ethan? He'd sell cheap but break fingers over theft. The officer said she was howling about injuries in the station, refusing medical care while rolling dramatically on the floor. They couldn't move her. Hearing her hog call shrieks through the phone, I smirked. I promised to come immediately, then booked a spa day. My past self would have penny pinched. But Rebirth taught me, money unspent on yourself gets spent on others. Post-massage, I ambled to the station. There she lay, screeching at officers. That brute nearly killed me. You're taking his side? I'll sue you all. An officer muttered. Ma'am, you started it by stealing and lost the fight. Watching her play blameless victim, I nearly laughed. Stealing vegetables with this entitlement? Classic. Feigning concern, I pressed her wounds. She yelped, Lily, you're hurting me. I'm dying. Only then did she agree to the hospital. The doctor said minor bruises, nothing serious. She exploded, I demand hospitalization. Ma'am, that's unnecessary. I soothed, exhausted from handling paperwork. She turned on me, where were you? I waited forever, eyes watering. I whispered, Kevin took the car last week, you insisted he needed it more. She was taken aback but still snapped at me, it's true. Kevin's more capable than you. Even without a car. Couldn't you figure something out? Capable indeed, at seducing his boss's daughter. Bed 36. Rounds check. The doctor's announcement cut through my mother-in-law's tirade. Nearby nurses whispered. That's the one faking injuries to extort money while hogging the hospital bed. Somehow the old woman overheard. What's that about faking? Can't you see I'm covered in bruises? I'll report you. The nurses fell silent, intimidated by the unreasonable hag. When she tried escalating, the doctor calmly injected her arm. Patients agitated, administered sedative. Bystanders stifled giggles. All exhausted by her theatrics. Kevin finally rushed in from work. Mom, you got into a street brawl? His first words were accusations. That vegetable vendor attacked me. She whimpered, the sedative slurring her speech. I clasped my hands contritely. It's my fault. Honey, I should have gotten to the police station sooner. Damn right you're slow. What kept you solving national crises? Mother-in-law sneered. Kevin cut her off. Enough. You got arrested for shoplifting veggies and blame Lily? Embarrassing. The rebuke silenced her. Her hospitalization scheme to extort the vendor failed when doctors refused injury documentation. As hospital bills piled up, she demanded discharge. Between working overtime and escorting his mistress shopping, Kevin barely visited, left tending her half-healed injuries. I brought tea only to be ordered, make lunch. In the kitchen, I tuned her out with noise-canceling headphones. Returning later, I found her face down by the bathroom, shrieking with a Roomba tangled in her hair. I watched the spectacle until her next howl. "Mom, what happened?" I rushed over, feigning concern. "Kill this demon machine. It's scalping me." I powered off the Roomba. "It probably mistook your perm for carpet fibers." "Where were you? Deaf or what?" "Cooking with the vent fan on." "Sorry." After calming her, I overheard her phone plea, "Kevin, hire a caregiver. Lily's bad luck." He refused. "We can't afford it with Emily's debts. Be grateful she's helping." She hissed. "If you'd divorced her already, we'd have the settlement money." I can't stand her innocent act. Gotta pick up Sophia now. Bye. Kevin hung up. Sophia, his mistress. The CEO's daughter. Coincidentally my former student. Young but cunning. Mother-in-law through her phone. Nothing goes right. I smiled. Patience. The game's just beginning. That night, Kevin swaggered in, preempting her complaints. "Big news, I got promoted. 20% raise." My mother-in-law's expression shifted instantly before breaking into a wide grin. "That's my son. Always the high achiever." "Exactly. I'm planning to invite my company's CEO over for dinner. You should start preparing," Kevin announced. I nodded agreeably. "Sounds good." The next day, someone from the company arrived, though not the CEO. "Mrs. Smith. My father wanted to come personally but couldn't rearrange his schedule. I hope you'll accept these gifts as a token of our appreciation," Sophia said with practiced politeness. Memories flashed of her strangling my daughter in another lifetime. Her face twisted beyond recognition compared to this polished facade. My mother-in-law beamed at the mountain of luxury gifts. "Such thoughtfulness. You're too kind, dear." I nearly snorted. "Since when do corporate executives visit like prospective in-laws?" Sophia's eyes widened when she saw me. "Ms. Johnson? You're Kevin's wife. Small world." I chuckled. "So you're the famous Sophia from Smith Enterprises." A foul odor suddenly wrinkled my mother-in-law's nose. "What's that stench?" She glared at the lone fruit basket among the supplements. Sophia flushed. "It's durian, Mrs. Smith. The aroma's strong but the taste. Disgusting." The old woman hissed through clenched teeth. Sophia pouted at Kevin, shaking his arm. "You said any gift would do." Kevin avoided my gaze, relieved to find me expressionless. "Mom's just sensitive to smells." He placated before hissing at his mother. "Could you at least pretend to be civil? She's the reason I got promoted." I intervened as tensions rose. "Dinner's almost ready, just 2 more dishes." Eager to redeem herself, Sophia volunteered. "Let me cook one." I gladly surrendered the kitchen. Her clumsy knife skills suggested this might be her culinary debut. Whatever, not my problem. When we finally sat down, Sophia kept pushing her creation toward my mother-in-law. "Try this pork belly. My special recipe." The old woman eyed the glistening slab, remembering Kevin's warning glare. She took a bite, and chaos erupted. Face purpling, she slammed fists on the glass table until it rattled. "Mom?" "Not again," Kevin began irritably before realizing her distress. "She's choking." I performed the Heimlich maneuver vigorously. By the time she caught her breath, my mother-in-law wheezed accusations. "You trying to kill me, girl?" Sophia trembled. "I'd never." "Enough," Kevin barked before escorting her out. The moment the door closed, my mother-in-law rounded on me. "Brute. You cracked my ribs." "I'll be gentler next time," I murmured, head bowed. From the hallway, Kevin's placating voice carried, "Don't worry, Sophia. Really. Everything's fine. My mom said she forgives you. We won't hold anything against you. Don't overthink it." Listening to these words, I could only laugh. What could possibly be trustworthy from this man's mouth? Kevin saw me nearby and flashed an awkward smile before hastily ending the call. Guiltily, he explained. It was the boss. These bosses sure seemed to multiply lately. I nodded understandingly. Knocking interrupted his discomfort. Bro, please let us stay. Those debt collectors are driving us out of our home. His sister Emily knelt outside with her son. Grandma emerged, distressed at seeing her daughter and grandson kneeling. What's this? Get up now. Kevin didn't want spectators either. Come in temporarily. Emily nearly kowtowed in gratitude. I'll earn our keep cooking. Laundry. Chores. Her son Ethan bounced excitedly. The cheerful boy had always been popular with neighborhood kids despite limited contact. Grandma's sweet boy. Grandma cooed, smothering Ethan with kisses before releasing him. Emily cornered me later. Since you're a teacher, could you tutor Ethan? I agreed, leading the curious child to my study. His eyes locked onto the chili oil bottle on my desk. Feigning generosity, I whispered, "This is special sauce. Want to try?" "Thanks, Aunt Lily." He grabbed it. "I'll share." "Wait." I stopped him. "Everyone's busy. Why not leave it on their tables?" He nodded solemnly. Next morning, I wondered why the chili oil remained untouched until Grandma's shriek pierced the house. "Who replaced my toner with fire sauce? My face is burning off." She stormed out clutching her scarlet face. Zeroing in on Ethan, Emily instantly shielded her son. "Don't blame Ethan." The boy stood defiant. I shared the yummy sauce. On my skincare shelf? Grandma's wrath made him tremble. I wanted everyone to have some. He burst into tears. "Stop screaming," Emily snapped, cradling her sobbing child. "He meant well. Just because we're staying here doesn't mean dash." Grandma's inflamed face worsened. Kevin snapped. "Enough. To the hospital before Mom's face melts off." The vanity-obsessed woman wailed throughout the car ride until Kevin barked. "Quiet. You're making it worse." She glared but finally shut up, the angry redness spreading across her prized complexion. After the doctor finished treating her, we were sent home with medication. Kevin hung up several calls on the way back, only secretly returning them after we got home. The voice on the other end snapped. "Why'd you keep hanging up? What were you doing?" Rubbing his temples in visible frustration, Kevin muttered, "My mom had an emergency. I just got back from the hospital." "So you're bailing on me again tonight?" Enough. There's always some excuse with you." The line went dead. Kevin stared at his darkened screen, agitation rolling off him in waves. School night study sessions always ran late. A student had lingered with questions. And by the time I left campus, the halls stood nearly empty. I was hailing a cab when strange noises froze me mid-step. Curiosity led me to an abandoned classroom where two figures clung together, passionately kissing and groping like the world had vanished. The girl's face tilted into the light revealed someone familiar, Sophia. Though voyeurism wasn't my thing. Certain parties would pay good money for this scoop. I snapped a few shots before slipping away. Back home, Kevin lounged on the couch. Unusually early. Oddly, he seemed surrounded by this greenish aura. Clueless as ever. The perfect mark. I perched beside him. "Honey, guess what I saw at school today?" He blinked, startled by my sudden chattiness. "What?" "Caught some students getting wild. That girl had the cutest butterfly tattoo on her waist." I flashed the photo. His entire body locked up. The color drained from his face, then flooded back crimson before settling into stormy black. The image showed no faces, but men always recognize their women's markings. Without a word, he stormed to the bedroom. I pressed my ear to the door as his icy voice carried through. "Sophia, where were you tonight?" "Class. Obviously. Teaching some guy private lessons?" Her gasp crackled through the speaker. What nonsense are you spouting? Guilty conscience?" "Silence. You cheating whore. You'll regret this." The phone smashed against walls as destruction sounds erupted within. But the drama didn't end there. While scrolling through campus forums later, a viral post stopped me cold. Keep your bedroom antics out of classrooms. PSA to the exhibitionists below. The pixelated photo left little doubt. Comments roasted them alive. WTF, they actually did it at school? So trashy, lol. My masterpiece had company. Delicious. The comments were wild. Just looking at the pics makes it seem intense. Do they not know there are security cameras in classrooms? Maybe they're into public thrill-seeking. LOL. After a while, familiar usernames popped up. Wait, that girl kinda looks like Sophia? OMG, I think it's that Sophia from my econ class. Are we talking about the same person? Holy shit. It's definitely Sophia. I'd recognize that birthmark anywhere. Ugh, I used to crush on her. Wonder if she'd. The chaotic thread quickly trended #1. I never intended to expose anyone publicly, knowing how damaging this could be, but watching that homewrecker get dragged? Chef's kiss. Can't blame me when half the campus has eagle-eyed gossipers. Just as I settled into bed, Grandma started wailing downstairs. I pretended to sleep until Kevin snapped. Mom? What the hell, he gagged. Jesus. That reeks. The bathroom door slammed. Curiosity got me. The stench hit like a brick wall, sewage stink clinging to Grandma's soaked nightgown. ing construction crews left manholes uncovered. She trembled. Sludge dripping onto the foyer tiles. No warning signs. Could have died out there. Ethan emerged rubbing his eyes. Grandma. You smell like poop emoji. Her face turned beet red as she shuffled toward the bathroom. Wait your turn. Kevin retched violently. I shut our bedroom door. Muffling giggles against the wood. Today delivered. True to her word, Emily took over kitchen duties. In our previous life, she'd been decent until inheritance disputes changed things. The community college dropout now clung to me for intellectual clout. Her phone's stock app glowed when she forgot it on the counter. 2 ticker symbols matched what I'd overheard from finance professors. Predictable. Lily. She approached days later. Eyes dollar, sign shiny. This biotech stock keeps climbing. Should I? Honestly? I feigned hesitation. These energy sector ones look better long term. But they're dipping hard. That's how markets work. What crashes might soar. I quoted textbook jargon. Fundamentals matter more than daily fluctuations. You're so smart. She transferred funds immediately. When the stocks spiked weeks later, Emily bounced into our living room. It worked. Paid off Marcus' gambling debts. Her collagen-filled lips stretched. Gonna reinvest everything. I smiled through her gushing. Let the Wolf of Wall Street play, for now. The market correction would come soon enough. Her new financial advisor persona came with perks, endless salon gift cards, designer handbag samples, and increasingly personal confessions. By June, she'd upgraded from coupon clipping to maintaining a 24-year-old personal trainer. Karma's a patient teacher. She kept raving to me every day about how amazing her toy boy was and how happy he made her. Though she tried to hide it, I could hear the smugness dripping from her voice. Honestly, it's impressive her husband hadn't made a peep despite her being gone so long. Since chaos already reigned, I decided to stir the pot further. I bought a burner phone and anonymously sent all the incriminating audio files and evidence to Emily's gangster husband. Not 24 hours later, a gravelly roar shook our neighborhood. Emily, get your ass out here. I know you're in there. What's going on? Someone's shouting for you. Emmy. Mrs. Smith frowned, using her daughter's childhood nickname. The source of the commotion turned out to be Emily's rarely seen husband from the Smith crime family, the kind of guy who considered marriage certificates optional and hadn't bothered learning about his wife's mountain of debts. You cheating bitch. He yanked Emily's hair like reining in a stray dog, his meaty palms cracking across her face. First you rack up debts. Now you're spreading your legs? I'll bury you in this goddamn yard. The slapfest continued as nosy neighbors materialized like vultures smelling blood. Mrs. Smith collapsed dramatically on the pavement. Help! Someone help! They're murdering my baby girl in broad daylight. Her Oscar-worthy performance failed to move the audience of rubberneckers. When Emily started wheezing like a broken accordion, the old woman lunged at the attackers only to get pinned down by two goons in wife-beaters. Kevin came rushing home just in time to catch an uppercut to the jaw. By sundown, the entire Smith clan got carted off to Mercy General. Well, everyone except me. When Emily finally regained consciousness, her face resembled a bruised pumpkin. I thought she'd learned her lesson until she started hyperventilating. It's gone, all gone. Your stocks? I feigned concern, peering at her phone. Looks like they're tanking hard. What'll you do? She responded with snotty wails that summoned nurses. Mrs. Smith emptied her life savings trying to bail out her golden child. But the debt kept ballooning. Turns out Emily had been playing hedge fund Barbie with loan sharks' money. Meanwhile, Kevin's sugar baby Sophia cut him off cold after their nasty breakup. Desperate, he actually tried hitting up his mistress for cash, got humiliated, lost his job, and got arrested for assaulting her when Mr. Brown walked in. The cherry on top? Mrs. Smith got scammed out of $150,000 by some smooth-talking investment broker. I visited Kevin in his orange jumpsuit, wearing the scarlet dress he'd always loved. His eyes lit up like Christmas morning before reality crashed down. I detailed how his mother now believed garden gnomes were CIA spies. How Sophia's family was burying him in lawsuits. How the Smith empire had crumbled to dust. Please, he begged, tears mixing with jailhouse grit. Take care of Mom for me. Caregiving? I smiled sweetly. Producing documents. Sorry, that's not in the divorce settlement. His face went sheet white as I revealed every manipulated stock trade. Every planted rumor. Every carefully staged coincidence that destroyed his world. Why? He rasped, veins bulging. Why do all this? Same reason you fucked Sophia in our bed. I hissed, leaning close. Same reason you starved our daughter while buying your mistress diamonds. Karma's a bitch. Isn't she? The guard escorted me out as Kevin's screams echoed down concrete corridors. Outside, sunlight warmed my face. Somewhere, my little girl was waiting to braid my hair and demand pancakes this time. In a world where we mattered most. Fine. I know. That's why I won't let you get away with this. My eyes burned crimson yet my voice held steady, carrying lifetimes of suppressed anguish. After leaving that suffocating room, I leaned against the cold wall gulping air until my trembling subsided. When I collected Emmy from my friend's house, the sight of her frosting, smeared grin shattered my composure. Hot tears spilled over as I crushed her small frame against me. Last time they'd broken her tiny fingers while she screamed mommy. Through bloodied lips and I could do nothing. Never again. The mountain of evidence, hotel receipts, text screenshots, eyewitness accounts made the divorce proceedings swift. The judge barely glanced at Kevin's spluttering denials before slamming his gavel. We left the Smith family's gated hell that afternoon with 2 suitcases and a notarized restraining order. Our new clapboard house in coastal Maine smelled of salt and fresh paint. I enrolled Emma in kindergarten where she learned to make friendship bracelets instead of flinching at raised voices. At night we'd build blanket forts eating microwave popcorn. Her giggles echoing through rooms that held no ghosts. The gentle flower would no longer be trampled upon. This time, the world would bleed before it touched a single petal of ours.